Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Saturday, the 30th of April. You have to bear with me. I've got 7 selections. I know I asked in the comments, but I've actually chose 7 selections, not for the sake of choosing 7. I actually fancy 7 horses. So I am going to explain to put them in the 10 pence each way lucky 15s, and I shall show you that at the end. But let's get straight into it. Yes, excuse me. I've just scrolled down. So the first selection is Jumbie in the 150 at Newmarket, paying 7 places instead of 4. I do think that William Buick is going to have quite a good day today. I do fancy the horse anyway of Eve Johnson Houghton's. I had a quick look last night. It was about 32. Can't remember about 12 to 1 last night, but it's certainly not that price now. It's 6 to 1. It's actually a favourite, but yeah, I certainly think it's going to come in the first 7. Well, not for definite, but I'm very confident of the selection. The next selection is the Harby. It's not really an each way selection, but I am putting it up as each way tip. It's William Buick once again in the 225 at Newmarket. There's a bet on there's an offer on Sky Bet of money back as cash if your horse finishes in second or third. The third selection is Cardem at 12 to 1 in the 3 o'clock at Newmarket, paying 4 places instead of 4. Once again, this is William Buick. I do fancy the horse anyway, and I thought, yeah, it's got half a chance. This has. I looked at the favourites. Yeah, there's a lot of horses with decent chances, so I thought I'd go for the value, which I seem to think it's 12 to 1. Charlie Hill's horse, decent trainer, obviously good jockey, William Buick, and I think he's got half a chance. Yeah, and I think 4 places is a cracking cracking offer. Excuse me. The fifth selection is Light Infantry at 40 to 1 in the 2,000 guineas. This is at 340, paying 4 places instead of 4. Well, this horse is unbeaten so far, and it's certainly one of the most progressive. And I think it's open to lots more improvement. We don't know what it's done over the winter, but from the jockey, I'm not a fan of Jamie Spencer, but we know what he's like. And also, let's not forget about his experience. He used to ride several. Well, he used to be retained jockey for Aidan O'Brien for several years. Well, this jockey must surely know, or would tell David Simcock, the trainer, whether he's wasting his time or not, entering this horse in the 2,000 guineas. If it's no good, this horse wouldn't be running in the 2,000 guineas. So, does Jamie Spencer think very hard? What? Clearly, I think he thinks a lot of the horse is running the 2,000 guineas, but is it going to be a lot better than we've seen so far? Don't get me wrong, it's going to have to be, but 4 to 1, I think it's good value. This horse was 13 to 2 last night. This is Al Azar. It was 13 to 2, and this is my nap of the day, but it's got to improve, and I shall tell you why in a minute. So Al Azar 9 to 2 in the 455, paying 4 places instead of 3 at Goodwood. Right, Jim Crowley rode this horse on its debut. He hasn't rode it since. It's run I believe 3 more times since. I looked into its breeding, and it's not really bred to be a 2-year-old. Well, it's a 3-year-old now, and I looked into. Let's call it the parents. It's mum, it's dad, and I believe it's mum's dad. all of the horses related to the breeding of this horse have ran well at Goodwood, or I can't speak, or have won over course and distance. We know that Goodwood is a very tricky course. Well, the fact that its parents have ran well or won over this course and distance, it's a huge tick in my opinion, because you've got a lot of horses that have never ran over this course before. Yep, Altazar. I can't remember whether it had or it hadn't, but I do know it has to improve. So I'm taking it. I'm taking as though it's had a good winter. It has improved, and I think it's handicap mark, because if you look, if you want to go into its form, hover over the its form, and like you do with the race of post, it'll tell you how it's running, how it's done in running. And basically, it's been completely as green as grass. It's been absolutely clueless. Well, it's been gelded over the winter. It was gelded not too long after its last run. I think it was about a month after. So this is basically like, we know what we've got. Yeah, we need to geld it to make it concentrate. It's been given several months to mature, like strengthen up over the winter. We could possibly see a different racehorse come race day today. If we don't, I do think in the next few runs we could see it winning. But I think today could be the day. And finally, Strongbow. Sorry, 1 second. It's not finally. I haven't added the last horse, but you'll see in a minute. Strongbow in the 130 at Thirst, price up at 12 to 1. Well, there's quite a lot of money available at Thirst today. And Timmy Easterby, or the Easterbys in general, don't like to leave money on the table when it comes to Northern meetings. I do really fancy this horse, and I think it's got to improve from its reappearance this year. But I do think it will do because the soft ground went against it. They're paying first 5 in this race, and they're paying first 5 in this race, and it won't be far away. Finally, on to the last selection. I didn't include it in the bet slip, but it is just here. Cruyff Turn. It likes it at Thirsk. It will appreciate its reappearance run. It'll come on for the run, and I do like the horse. David Allen's booked, but jockey bookies don't really mean too much for the Easterbys because Duran Fentiman, I don't know if it's classed as jockey number 2 for the Easterbys, but quite often I've seen either jockey win on either horse. It doesn't really matter, but I do think this is the first choice Cruyff Turn, and I think it's got a cracking chance. So that is the selections for today. I'm just going to show you how to place them. So I've given 7 selections so far. For those who are familiar with this channel, this is how I recommend putting them on. So I've given you 7 selections. If you write those selections down, those 7 selections, put a number at the side of them, and then this is how you need to put them on. So every horse is combined in multiples. Every horse is in the bet 4 times. So this is from a previous bet. Secret Eagle, there you can see 1, 1, 1, 1. That represents Secret Eagle. So when you see number 2, that'll be Boardman. So when you put your first lucky 15 on, your first selection would be how you have wrote it down in that order. So number 1 in your order, or number 2, number 3, number 4, yeah, will be placed in a 10 pence each way lucky 15. And then you would use the following numbers: 1, 5, 6, and 7. So just for example, if you wrote them down as I've read them, if you're putting the first lucky 15 on, which are horses 1, 2, 3, and 4, you would put Jumbie in that lucky 15. You'll put Dahabi in that lucky 15. You'll put Cardem in that lucky 15, and you would put Life Infantry in that bet. You will place a 10 pence each way lucky 15, and then you would put the next selections on, which will be 1, 5, 6, and 7, which would be. So you would delete that once you put it on. Don't retain selections. Jumbie, horse number 1. So they have 5, 6, and 7. So Al-Azhar will be horse number 5. Strongbow, horse number 6. And Cruyff Turn, horse number 7. You will put that on in a 10 pence each way lucky 15, and so on. These are the numbers. So as I said yesterday, I'll be giving you a football bet. This will be online in the description of this video. So come back to this video if you want the football bet. It will be a treble over 2.5 goals, a treble over 3.5 goals, and a treble over 4.5 goals on the football. If we have a lot of goals early on in the matches, have a look at cashing out on the over 3.5 and over 4.5 goals. It is very rare that I would get that bet up, but if there's a lot of early goals, you will see a very tasty cash out option. If you want to take that cash out option, take the cash out option. Yeah. So, fingers crossed. And as I said, I will be with you just before 12 o'clock with the football bet. So it's Charlie Winters over and out. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers, mate.